IoT, or Internet of Things. Internet of Things is really internet. I mean, like internet, that we have interconnection between almost everything. But everything in internet is computer. All nodes are computers. Here, no. There are other goods like robots or normal household goods, and all sort of things which can operate, can do something. For example, and then, we can see it in the next photo. Basically, IoT is end-to-end. IoT is connection between things, and starts from the thing itself, anything which you have at home or whatever. In the city, we'll discuss a bit about it. Then we collect data about those things, and then this data goes into a mining source of it, which is a cloud mainly, and then it can be used on the other side, controlled or used both by apps and plug-and-play equipment. And behind all these, we can put an intelligent action, which means we can make it smarter and smarter day by day. So Internet of Things means connecting, starting from microwave, computer, security cameras, oven, cooking, it's the same thing really. Again, displays or sound, coffee making, lighting, cars, refrigerator, personal data, and loudspeaker. These are mainly household things really. But it's more than that. It's not only house. House is one aspect of it. Well, again, this is mainly house, but different way of contributing it. But it's almost the same thing as we mentioned. I can't see much new thing in it. It's the same thing. But it can be over the city, over the whole community, really. Starting from right to left, we go, from left to right. From left to right, we say, first of all, the cloud is also there. So the management normally is there to overlook the whole process, what we want to do. We have TV programs, we have remote TV games, camera at home, security, sound system, again TVs, touch screens, smart TVs we can use. And then we go to the kitchen, which is refrigerator and the oven, and we have lighting as a whole all over the robots, like these cleaning robots, any robots really. Then we have even drones. It can be private home, or it can be anything to be used for industry or even the city, for movement and for doing some jobs even. Moving things, I mean, and doing like spraying, like looking, all sort of information which we can have from drones. And also we have this smart house, a smart home control, which is we can control the temperature, lighting, energy saving in at home, so in order to reduce the cost. We come forward, it's the traffic, and we can have these smart cars, smart driving cars now is getting now, but in the lower end, when you, for example, you get close to your car, it knows it's you and unlocks the doors, for example, or turns the car on, or other security features, or really making life easier for people who want to use it. Even, for example, the drivers, each driver have a different seating situation. So the car can understand who is the driver and adjust the seating according to the driver. For example, these sort of things. We have, robots, humanoid on the street. We have general information, public information, point of information or point of sale, really. And we have to the right the industrial units. So it can be used for industry, factories, delivery, production, and also, in fact, communication between all of them. For example, you use at home one thing, and the computer, the production knows that, okay, you finished, for example, your detergent, so it can produce more. Well, it seems very funny thing, but it is very serious. I mean, the factories, if they have information on the consumption, so where is used more, they can produce on time, and we wouldn't need to have a lot of goods in the shelf. These are wasting money. We can save all this. So altogether, it's really a smart community. Smart city, which already now some of them are in place in different cities in the world. Street lighting and car parking system is the most common one, which is easiest one, because basically, technically, these IoT is a device which can only send information maximum to 500 meter. So if it's within the 500, which is typically 200 meter, within 200 meter there will be another device. It can receive the information from this one, from the first node, and relay it to next one, and relay it to another one. And so that's why we call it internet, because it's interconnected way of dealing it. So the energy which they need to transmit is very low, is only for 200 meter, and also it's simple. It doesn't need to process anything. They just get the information, pass it to next one. Of course, locally they have to do something about it. They can do it as well. That's exactly the idea of internet, and that's why they call it Internet of Things. Street lighting is like that. So, for example, street lighting can work on depending on the condition of the weather and the light and the sun and the sunset, sunrise, but also can be more smart later on. For example, if there is nobody in the street, it can turn it off. As soon as somebody arrives or a car comes, it's the whole street, or as much as necessary, can turn on. So that way, it doesn't seem much, but a lot of energy can be saved. Parking system is another way of, especially those big companies now. There are some companies, they have different car parks around their factory, and the people, they had to, especially staff, I mean the working people, they were coming every day to find the right place. Sometimes they had to move quite a lot of way around to find the parking place. But if they have an app which automatically tells them, okay, this place is for you, or is free, they can simply reserve it even. So that's good, and they can go right away to the location where they want and park it there. So it saves a lot of time and again energy in just going around for nothing. Traffic monitoring and control systems, again, traffic, it's very important to coordinate between first traffic light to the second and the third, and altogether depends on the flow of the traffic. There have been a lot of such effort before, even I remember 40 years ago, not now. In Tehran, we had in one of the main streets, on the traffic light, it was saying, for example, 30. So it meant that when it's green, if you go 30 kilometers per hour, the next traffic light will be green again when you arrive, so you can go ahead without need for waiting. So that sort of idea is good, but it was very difficult to implement it before, and that's why it probably didn't work or didn't sustain and continue. But when it's a mesh, all informations are there, fed from different angles, different cross locations, traffic from different locations. And in advance, not only that, I mean, the computer knows that flow, it is 4 traffic lights behind, so many cars are coming and or going. So we can just put a right programming, we can improve the traffic monitoring and control. Infrastructures, bridges, tunnels, pipes, etc., it needs monitoring. I mean, these always accidents happen, or some part of the bridge or tunnel may get defected. Always we have to control to see nothing wrong with these places, which are very crucial in traffic and also safety. So in advance, they have to understand that if anything is going to go wrong, so we can repair it easier. So altogether, again, these are all these which I mentioned in this page. They are already used by different cities. Some cities are not more than maybe only one city now, but it already is being used. The next one is environment pollution and noise monitoring, which is nowadays are getting more and more important. Again, not only government people need to know this sort of information, people also need to know, so they can be part of the solution. It's very important in this smart city that everybody is a decision maker and everybody is part of solution. So when you have the information, when you give the information to everybody, they can also decide on a proper way. So of course, if you also teach them what is the best way to do if this situation happens. So when they also change the route, they also stay at home, like now, for example, for Corona, the best thing is to stay at home. So okay, stay at home. This sort of information is very important for conveying. So if all this information is available in your mobile, so when you come out, you want to travel, you know what is the situation, what is the situation now. So what's the best route to go? So it's not only traffic, also the pollution and noise and other matters can be incorporated in your route selection. Even the Google or whatever these programs, they can do that as well. Waste management is again part of the city activities, which is important to know what to do or where to dump things and how much is needed. So again, that's another aspect which seems simple but or neglected, but it's important for a city.